So make or break, fair and square. I fed the top sides and things are looking good now. So I really like the shape. Got some class to it. And yeah, I mean, like, windage is low down to nothing, and I like that. Another thing I like is that if he bashes through a wave, these things will just help him up, you know. I'll just pull him up, and so it's like really good having your top sides coming outside the boat. There you go, old Why Not again. He's a donor. He donated the hatch. I don't feel like making a new one, and this is how I'm working over here, so I'll just move this aside. So that lip is going to hold the combing for the hatch, and then I get another lip over here, then I got the bulkhead, then another lip over here holding this combing that goes for that hatch, and then another one or two over here. The way I'm holding this stuff on is pretty simple. So I cut notches into the shear clamp, and then I've notched these out on a table saw, 4mm, and then the ply goes in. So the ply over here has already got glued on with PU. Over there you can see it squishing out slightly, and then this is going to get filleted and glass taped on. So here he is. I've got all the deck ribs in place, and now I've got to do this. So the way I make templates when it's a little bit complicated stuff, I do two halves. That's why it's glued in the middle. They glued up together. So you get the first half to go in properly, and then you copy it, you make another one that goes in, stick them together, and you're done. Then over here it was slightly big. I cut it slightly wide, so I put on a piece of insulate of tape, whatever it's called now, masking tape, and that just closes it up all the way. And I'm going to copy carefully around that. Then I'll use that as a template for the other side. I'll check it. If it works, then I go. If not, then I'll make a new one. And here's all the ribs. So this is where the hatch goes, big hatch. So there's going to be two more small ones over here on the sides. See how we do that, and basically it's a done deal. So I'll show you what I got up to. Basically I've got on the top sides, and I've put on all the deck ribs. I've put on these guys, fillet and fiberglass later on over here, of course, over here too. This gets decked. That's a place for a hatch, so I'm going to have to run two shorter ribs over here and just make a small hatch over here. That's for lashing on the anchors. That's 24mm, so that's 4 sheets of 6mm ply glued up, and then a 4 on top. Everything is epoxied onto the hull with 2 bolts, a 5 and a 4. Then there's a backing plate in there. You can see that side, backing plate, 4mm over 6mm hull, so that's 10mm ply. I think it's enough, because everything's working for now. It's getting pulled up, it's not getting pulled out, so with the epoxy behind and with the backing plate, I think it's enough. This, I've taken a lot of weight off this guy. This bulkhead, I didn't like it, it was a little bit heavy, so I cut it higher up like this, and then I've drilled it out over here and over there, and I've drilled out those ribs. Okay, I've saved a lot of weight over here. Basically what I've saved over here, I've added over here. I've even saved more than what I added. Same thing over here. These deck ribs are 23 by 20 spruce. They're very strong. I've tested a few pieces on a span of 65 centimeters. I was standing on them, jumping on them. Yeah, they flex, but they don't break. And then over here the span is smaller than 65 because I got this. This has been so these deck loops have been put on with filleted both sides, the ply, and glassed one side only. What else have I done? Filleted inside this guy, and he gets glass tape. Over here is glass taped over here, filleted and glass tape, but he's going to get it on the outside too. Like I said, small hatch over here, big hatch over here, so there's going to wire knots hatch, so there's going to be a combing over here and a combing over there, and then wire knots hatch comes on top. I'll go on all four of these guys. Got to 80 gram glass and epoxy this on. I'm gonna have to cut this, but I want to first fill it and glass it, so I know where it comes to and what it looks like, and then I'll figure out how I take it back. This stuff, and that's it. That's a new sheet of ply that I just bought from Rael there. 4mm Poplar Ply. I'm going to use it for the deck. That's why I put my deck loops close by, because I want to put 4mm ply on top. Why not? The whole leaf pod is 4mm, and I walked on that thing all day long. It's got a small lip over there and one in the middle and one over there, and I can walk all over that thing, no problems whatsoever. So I'm not going to have problems over here either. Look at the quality of this stuff. 0 knots. This sheet has 0 knots on both sides and 0 voids on the inside. How do I know there's no voids? Poplar Ply, 4mm Poplar Ply. If you hold it up against the light, you will see the voids. I've found all the voids in all the 4mm poplar that I've always used. I've found all the voids just by holding the ply up against the light, and you can see the voids shining through. And then I pick them away, I break them out, and I fiberglass them. I fill them with thickened epoxy, and then I glass them on top. This sheet has 0 voids and 0 knots on both sides. An unbelievable piece of ply. Now, you see this? This is good stuff. This is phenol formaldehyde. Okay, this phenolic resins, blah blah. That's the stuff that Million Ply is glued up with. You can see it over here. You can see it everywhere. Sometimes on the thin sheets, you could even see it shining through. It just seeps through the pores of the wood and it comes through over here, yeah? But you can also see it on the side. If you look carefully, you'll see that there's thin black lines running between the sheets. And that means that the stuff's been glued up with phenol formaldehyde. And that is the best glue for the most water resistance glue, and that's what's used on Million Ply. And that's what Rael uses on all their ply. And that's why I really like their stuff, and I'm really happy with all the plywood that I've bought from them. And yeah, all the boats I've made with this type of stuff, and never had a problem yet. You need a water shield, a water barrier. If you Okume and Poplar and there's quite a few other plies. Without a water barrier, they're not going to last. I mean, you're expecting too much of the material. It's just there's no oils inside it, you know. There's nothing to look after the wood. There's no there's nothing. It's just like this dry kind of. It's like, I don't know what, like spruce, you know. So you need a water barrier. You need a water shield, and once you put that on, then yeah, man, paint it proper. But also, small boats don't live in the water, and that's what I'm talking about, people. I mean, you must understand that before you build a boat, you must really think about how you're going to use this boat. Yeah, how long do you want to use it for? Is it always going to be wet? Is it not going to be wet? Is it going to be outside? Is it going to be indoors? Most of the small dinghies are kept indoors. And since they're kept indoors and they're just taken out on a weekend here and there and they just go for a spin for a few hours, anything works, eh? Anything works. And Poplar Ply will make you a stronger boat for less weight. So, that's what we believe. All the best, Balkan Shipyards. That's the idea we want to get to. Like I said, small hatch comes over here. That's the big hatch. That's Why Not's hatch. And I'm gonna have to build up a small piece of deck over here, and then combings coming in over here. And that's the template of the deck. Then I'm gonna start cutting out now with a formal ply, and one for here and one for the other side, and another small piece over here. Then combings and a small hatch. This is a high quality epoxy primer for steel. I used it on wood, and I've done Why Not with it, and it holds up really well. No, this paint just stays there. Here's the hardener. The hardener, it's a 2-to-1 mix, and the easy way to do it is I take a stick. You must have a jar with a straight wall, so it's not flailing out. Measure whatever you want, and then half above that, so this is 4 centimeters, that will be the paint. And then above that, it's another 2 centimeters, that will be the hardener. I'll put it in here. Now I'll fill the paint to the low line. And here we go. I've made the low line on the paint, and now it's just going to the top line with the hardener. So I filled my hardener up to the second line, which is 6 centimeters, and that's a total of 6 centimeters. 4 is the paint, and another 2 on top is the hardener finished. So you can do 10 and 15 and 20 and 30 and so on and so forth. Now a good mix, and we'll plumb the boat inside. Make or break just before I close up the deck. So there's to be we have to make small hatches for here. I'm going to close off a little bit on the side. The hatch is going to be really small. Here's Why Not's hatch. Again, I have to close off over here a little bit. But that's when I build the combing, then that will all get done. And basically that's the way things look at the moment. I don't know, looking good, kind of. Flat bottom, as we know, but I think it's okay. This is working out to be length beam ratio on this boat is what you would have on a cruising slimy lens Vaca. Cruising slides, their Vacas are pretty wide, roughly 1 to 7, roughly, and that's what I have over here. Many times I've described the Proas to people as a slimy land without one. So since it's a slimy land without one, I've decided that 1 to 7 beam length ratio at waterline is decent. It's not going to be a fast boat, but then I plan on loading it heavy, so I need a displacement. So whatever, you know. And I'll show you what's going on in here. This is formal decks, and they're very strong. I've been bouncing around on them. These little spruce pieces, taking a lot of weight off this bulkhead. It might have been overkill putting it in, but now that I have it, I don't want to take it out. and I like the fact that the pull of the uckers is divided onto more area of the 6mm ply because it's connected onto these two guys over here. So I think it strengthens things. 4mm bolt, 5mm bolt, and epoxied on. Backing plate. Can you see it down there? 4mm backing plate over 6mm skin. So that works out to be 10mm ply. Big washers, and that's also been epoxied on. Like I said, I have to add a little bit of material over here so we can put the combings up. But first I have to get these decks on today. Glass this, fillet and glass tape this. Inside I've primed the whole boat with 2-pack epoxy primer for steel. I like it a lot. This is a good make, and it's really good paint, and it's so cheap that it's unbelievable. And this stuff, I put why not. I did the whole bottom of why not with this, and the top, and everywhere, and nothing moved. It's all there. And above, I went with my outdoor acrylic, and now I'm going to do white on the bottom, just a single coat. I'm trying to save weight even on paints, so one time primer, only one coat of primer over the bare wood, and a single acrylic on top, an outdoor matte once. I don't want to put more. Believe it or not, over painting your boat will result in a heavy boat. Paints are heavy. At a certain point it just all starts adding up, you know. The smallest screws, the smallest pieces of wood, the tiniest bit of paint, and it just starts adding up. And fillets add up, and everything adds up. So we're trying to save paint, we're trying to save weight, we're trying to save everything. The moment I roughly estimate this vac at about 40 kilos. I carry it by myself, no problems whatsoever. So I think it will work, and with the volume that he has, which is much more than what Why Not has, I think things might come together. Make or break. Balkan Shipyards. All the best.